This Prismatic Warlock build turns you into a debuffing engine. We're using Felwinter's Helm here to spread the weaken across the battlefield, and Outbreak Perfected to melt anything that is caught within its swarm of nanites. So every melee, grenade and ability feeds into the next, giving you a constant healing through Devour, endless crowd control and non-stop damage. It's a self-sustaining loop that makes you nearly unkillable, while your enemies crumble under stacking debuffs and relentless nanite swarms. Well, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button down below for even more Destiny 2 content here on Endgame Express. Well, first of all, we're going to go through why this build is good, then we're going to have a look at the gameplay loop, and then we are going to put the build together so you can use it in your game. But first of all, why this build is good. So the core of this build strength comes from Felwinter's Helm. It's got a unique perk called Warlord's End, turns your powered melee hits and finishes into battlefield-wide weakening effects. So every time you secure a melee final blow, you don't just eliminate a target, you create a burst of energy that weakens everything nearby. Against tougher enemies, this burst becomes larger and lasts longer, turning Felwinter's Helm into a consistent debuff engine. And since weakened targets take increased damage, this helmet ensures your entire arsenal, abilities and weapons alike always hit harder. It's not just about your melee ability, it's about reshaping the battlefield so every follow-up action is even more deadly. And this is where Outbreak Perfected slides in perfectly. So Outbreak thrives on weakened enemies thanks to the sieve and nanites. Each precision kill or kill spawns a swarm of nanites that attach to nearby enemies, exponentially ramping up your damage output. And when Felwinter weakens a group, Outbreak's nanites spread faster and deal even more damage, making major enemies and bosses melt under sustained fire. This synergy is brutal, so Felwinter's ensures everything is primed for maximum damage, while Outbreak takes full advantage of the weakened state to shred through health bars with compounding nanite swarms. The Prismatic subclass ties the exotic pairing together well with layered utility, so Arcane Needle and Lightning Surge both count as powered melees, meaning every strike can proc Felwinter's weakening burst. You add in Feed the Void and every ability kill refreshes Devour, giving you survivability and endless grenade uptime. Pair that with your Cold Snap grenades, and you're going to be freezing entire groups of enemies while keeping your health topped up. Phoenix Dive adds in a solar cure and pairs neatly with Facet of Hope, speeding up your ability regeneration, and the result is a rotation where the melees and ability continuously fill each other, and Felwinter's guarantees that each cycle leaves enemies weakened for your weapons to clean up. So the fragments multiply this synergy even further. Facet of Courage directly boosts your Arc, Solar and Void ability damage against weakened enemies, and that is almost always active thanks to Felwinter's Helm. Facet of Defiance turns the finishes into elemental detonations, layering explosions on Felwinter's weakening burst for massive crowd control, and Facet of Protection and Facet of Purpose adds durability and randomness to your buffs, keeping you alive and empowered in chaotic fights. So these fragments don't just add flavour, they directly enhance the weakening and debuff loops set up by your exotic armour. Okay, next up, let's have a look at the gameplay loop. So you open with a melee or a lightning surge, so land a powered melee hit or finisher to trigger Felwinter's Helm, weakening enemies in an area. Follow up with your abilities, so toss in a Cold Snap grenade, or chain Arcane Needle into the weakened group for freezes and unravels, and ability kills that feed Devour. You can lay down your weapon damage, so swap to Outbreak Perfected and melt weakened enemies as nanites spread, multiplying the damage across the group. Collect the Orbs of Power, and then simply repeat the cycle. So with your abilities refreshed by Feed the Void, Invigoration, and your mods, dive back in with another melee and reapply Weaken, and keep the loop going. Okay, next up, let's put the build together. So first of all, we've got Felwinter's Helm. This one is an exotic Warlock helmet with the perk Warlord's End. So powered melee hits weaken targets, and powered melee final blows create a burst of energy that weakens nearby targets. Finishes and final blows against more powerful targets increase the radius of the burst and the length of the weakening effect. You can get this one from Master Rahul in the tower, or keep an eye on Zur for when he sells it. Zur is around from Friday until release on Tuesday. You can find him in the bazaar in the tower. Next up, the Prismatic subclass setup. So for the super, we've got the Nova Bomb. Hurl an explosive bolt of void light at a target, disintegrating those caught within its blast. Nova Bomb travels slowly and seeks targets, and detonations shatter into smaller seeking projectiles. We've got the class ability next of all, so Phoenix Dive to the ground and create a burst of solar light that cures nearby allies. And then the melee attack, we've got the Arcane Needle, sling a woven needle that will embed in your target, unraveling them. Activate your melee ability again to chain up to 2 additional attacks. Then we've got the grenade, so it's a cold snap grenade, and this is a grenade that freezes on impact and sends another seeker to find and freeze targets. For the aspects, we've got Feed the Void, so defeat a target with any ability to activate Devour. This gives us a good amount of health, plus also an infinite stream of grenades. Then we got Lightning Surge, so while sliding, activate your charge melee ability to blink forward, cooling down lightning strikes that jolt targets as you rematerialise. Targets that are hit by the lightning strikes grant you stacks of bolt charge. Next up for the fragments, we've got Facet of Courage, so your Arc, Solar and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with the Darkness debuff. Facet of Defiance, finishes create a detonation that either jolts, scorches, slows, severs, or makes targets volatile based on the damage type of your equipped super. You've got Facet of Hope, so while you've got an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. Facet of Protection, so while surrounded by combatants, you're more resistant to incoming damage, and while transcendent, the effect is increased, and this one really helps us stay alive. Finally, we've got Facet of Purpose. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Bolt Charge, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or an Overshield, based on the damage of your equipped super. Next up for the weapons, we've got Outbreak Perfected. First of all, in the primary slot, this one's an exotic pulse rifle. It's a fantastic kinetic pulse rifle, mainly down to the perks. So let's check them out. We've got the Corruption Spreads. The weapon creates Seaver nanite swarms on rapid hits and precision kills. Then we've got Parasitism. So the weapon does more damage to enemies based on the number of Seaver nanites that are attached to them. You can get this one from the 0 Hour exotic mission. You can find that in the Legends menu via the Director. In the energy slot, I'm using a Lotus Eater, so this one is a rocket-assisted frame sidearm, and that means the sidearm fires self-propelled rocket ammunition, and projectiles explode on impact for high damage. To get this one, you want to complete Nightfalls when the Lotus Eater is the featured weapon for the week. When you defeat the final boss, you'll have a chance to get the Lotus Eater to drop for you. The higher the difficulty Nightfall, the more likely the weapon will drop, and you also have a chance to get an adept version from a Grandmaster Nightfall. In the power slot, I'm using Hammerhead. This one is a legendary power machine gun with an adaptive frame. It's got a wear-and-handed grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy, and you can get this weapon from Zur. Finally, for the mods on the head, we've got Hands-On, gain bonus super energy on melee kills. Super Font, so you gain bonus to your super stat, while you've got any armor charge, and an armor charge decays over time. On the arms, we've got Heavy Handed, so your powered melee final blows create orbs of power, and then you've got a melee font. Collecting an orb of power causes you to gain 1 temporary armor charge. On the chest, Arc, Solar and Void Resistance reduces incoming damage from combatants from that element, and on the legs we've got Invigoration, so that reduces the melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. Kinetic Weapon Surge, so your kinetic weapons gain a small bonus to damage when you've got an armor charge, and your armor charge now decays over time. On the class item, we've got the class font, so you gain a bonus to your class stat while you've got any armor charge, and your armor charge decays over time. We've got Outreach, so reduces the melee cooldown when using your class ability, and Time Dilation, your decaying armor charge has a long duration. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about this build, but that is it for this Felwinter's Helm Prismatic build in Destiny 2's Edge of Fate. And as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Destiny 2 content here on Endgame Express. Thanks again, and I'll see you real soon.